Mathematics Kcse 2017 Paper 1 Question 21. The corner points A, B, C and D of a ranch are such that B is 8 kilometers directly east of A and C is 6 kilometers from B on a bearing of 30 degrees. D is 7 kilometers from C on a bearing of 300 degrees. A. Using a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 1 kilometer, draw a diagram to show the positions of A, B, C and D. 4 marks. B. Use the scale drawing to determine I. The bearing of A from D, 1 mark. 2. The distance BD in kilometers, 2 marks. 3. The perimeter of the ranch in kilometers, 3 marks.
So that is the question. Let us go to the solution and see how we are supposed to work out the questions. So we're going to begin with the first one, that is using the scale of 1 centimeter to represent 1 kilometer. Draw the diagram to show the positions of A, B, C and D. Now, to begin with, the first thing you're supposed to do when you get such a question is to have a rough sketch that you're going to use before you go to the actual scale drawing. First of all, ensure that you have a sketch. So from the information, I'll go directly to the sketch. So this is the question. The corner points A, B and C. You have read the question. So we start with locating these places. B is 8 kilometers directly east of A. B is 8 kilometers directly east of A. So how do we sketch that? So if we have a rough diagram here, we should just have if that is A, then B is directly east, and that distance, this one is 8 kilometers. Then the other one is and C is 6 kilometers from B on a bearing of 30 degrees, and C is 60 kilometers from B on a bearing of 30 degrees. So from B, what you're going to do, you draw a compass here, you draw a compass there, and you measure 30 degrees. So you shall have 30 degrees. Now remember, if this is the compass, that bearing, true bearing, is measured from the north in a clockwise direction. That is very important to note. All the true bearings are measured from the north clockwise. So in this case, these will be 30 degrees. So C may go there. C is 6 kilometers from B on a bearing of 30 degrees. So this is should be 6 kilometers, and then you assume that C is somewhere there. Then the other information is D is 7 kilometers from C on a bearing of 300 degrees. D is 7 kilometers from C on a bearing of 300 degrees. So from C, this is where you're going to draw your pair of your compass point is going to be drawn there. Then D is 300 degrees from this point C. So you measure 300 degrees from this point. So this is what you're going to measure. So up to 270. So you'll need to add 30 degrees more. So here, this will be 30 degrees. That is from north, from the north in a clockwise direction, measuring 300 degrees. Of up to this point is 270. Then 270 plus 30 degrees, that is when you have 300. So 300 will move all the way from the north this direction up to that point. So that is and these we give it that it is 7 kilometers. So that distance is 7 kilometers. So this one is 7 kilometers, and then D will be somewhere there. So this is the sketch that is very important, which will help you to draw the actual scale drawing. So if you have now these positions, you'll be able to know where do you need to measure the angle, how you're supposed to measure the angle, and so on. So let's go straight to the actual scale drawing. So in this part you need to have the measuring instruments. So let me start by adjusting my ruler here, and I want to begin by making a straight line. This straight line, remember what I'm drawing. This is AB, which is 8 kilometers. That is what I want to draw. So AB, so that is the line. So I need to locate the point here. I mark a point where I am supposed to, yes, I can mark this point that is here. That will be my point A. So we stop at this point. So that is, let me label this as my point A. So from there I'm supposed to measure 8 kilometers. So I'll need a compass in this case, so let me use a compass to do that. So let me extend these. So I want to use a pair of compass, so that will be, I want to measure 8 kilometer. Remember, the scale is 1 centimeter 1 kilometer. So if we're measuring 8 kilometers, that will be 8 centimeters. So when you look at this is definitely giving me 8 centimeters. So with that, let me return this here. Now the point should be there, so I can mark there. So that point should be indicated by B, and this is 8 kilometers. Now after doing that, looking at our diagram, we need to measure 30 degrees from B. So let me do that. I want to measure 30 degrees from B, and to do that I will need a protractor. Do that. I need a protractor to do that. So now when you're drawing these compass, you need to ensure that the compass, this point will be exactly 90 degrees. Ensure that these will be 90 degrees. So I want to ensure that these will definitely give me 90 degrees. So 90 degrees will be there when I'm drawing my compass. That is the point I'm going to use. Let me just highlight that point. This is the point. That will be 90 degrees. And then what you can do from there, down here, for the purpose of accuracy, ensure that even down here you have so I'll have to mark the other point. Will be somewhere there. That will be 90 degrees as this one, this point. So after doing that, what you can do from there, you can have your ruler, and now this line that I will join here, using this point, this is the point where I mark 90 degrees, and this is another point where I mark 90 degrees. So using those points, I will place my ruler there, and I draw that line. That will definitely give me 90 degrees. All right, Now after doing that, now that is 90 degrees. Remember this is the compass. That is the compass, that is the true north. Very important to note that. Now I need to measure 30 degrees from there. I need to have 30 degrees. So again, you take your pair of this protractor, and this is how you're supposed to measure 30 degrees from the north. That is very, very important when you're measuring this bearing. This is a true bearing. Ensure the center, this one is well placed. Ensure that this is take your time. Now when you are measuring 30 degrees from the north in a clockwise direction, so we shall therefore have 30 degrees. This is 0, 10, 30 degrees will be somewhere there. That is where it will be. So I need to mark that. It's very important. So 30 degrees will be somewhere there. Yes, that is where it will be. So let me show it again. So this is where 30 degrees will be. So after doing that, you can take your ruler, and you must be very accurate here to avoid making errors where the line will pass. Let me have this side on this. Let me rotate it like that. I think it is easier. The point that I want to join where 96 to 30 degrees, that is a point that is there. I need to have that point joined. So you really need to take time. Don't be in a hurry to do this, otherwise you will find yourself messing. But when you're using your book, the paper, this will not be, it is not usually a major problem. Yes, that is what is going to, I can try to stretch these. So having done that, now I can comfortably join. Let me not do that side, it is on this side. Yes, that's it. That is the line. I can confirm by using my protractor. You can see that that is exactly 30 degrees. So this point here, this angle, this is 30 degrees. The next thing we're going to do from there, this will be 6 kilometers. You have to measure that 6 kilometers. So 6 kilometers, how do you measure that? Take your, you can take the measurement using your pair of compass and a ruler. Mine is already taken care of here, so I don't need to measure. So I want to stand here at B. Standing at B, I want to take the measurement I should take is 6 kilometers. I think that is the case, 6 kilometers. So 6 kilometers. Let me first ensure that I'm standing at the exact point. Yeah, that is the exact point. So this is 8, this is it should be exactly 6. Yes, that is 6. So if that is 6, I can mark that. And this point now, I can mark this point as C. So this is 6 kilometers. So that is 6 kilometers. The next thing to do, at point C, I'm supposed to measure D is 300 degrees from C. So how do you need to measure that? From clockwise, we don't need to measure the whole of that angle. From here where we have this point 200, this direction anti-clockwise up to this point, that is 270. So we need to add 30 degrees just to measure 30 degrees on that line. So what we need to do now is to simply come to this point. Now take our ruler, and here we need to be more serious. We have to draw a pair of compass here. We have to have a pair of compass here. So let me draw. Then that is the case. I should ensure that this pair of these compass, the points of compass, these 90 degrees at this point, this one should be 90 degrees. So ensure that when you're measuring that this is always 90, that this one is always 90. This central point of the protractor should rest on that line. Yes, that is how it is. So 90 degrees will definitely be here, so you have to mark that point. So let me mark that point. So this is the point where I need, that is 90 degrees. And then downwards you can rotate alongside that, so that this will guide you in drawing that line. It will guide you in drawing that line. So down here again 90 degrees should be there. So let me mark it. So that is where 90 degrees is. And after marking those points, you can remove your the protractor and draw a straight line. Draw a straight line passing through those 2 points. The points are these one point here, as you can see, and then there is another point there. So that straight line, those points are supposed to guide me. They're supposed to guide me on I'm supposed to draw that line. Yes, and I think that is okay. So now that is the line. That is the line. Let me ensure that the line is accurate. Let me ensure it should pass through there. Yes, that is the line. So this is my compass. The true north is there. You can always confirm whether that angle is 90. So you can see it is 90 from here. from this end, and then that is 90. So that is 90. It is okay. It is 90. So that is the compass. So 300 degrees from C. We've just said we shall measure 30 degrees just here, 30 degrees from this end. So 30 degrees will be somewhere there, because when we move from the north in a clockwise direction, we'll go to 0, then 90, then 180, then 270. Then from 270 we need to add 30 degrees on this end. So this is the point where I need to have me mark it properly. Yes, that way. This is the point. That should give you 30 degrees. So after doing that, we need to just take your ruler, and join with that point. Need to be very keen there. As you can see, my point is there, and this one must exactly intersect at that point. So straight line there, the line is. So this angle is the one that is 30 degrees. In order to give now the whole of this angle from this point all the way, that angle is the one that is required, is 300 degrees. Then 270 plus that is how it's supposed to do it. The distance, that distance as indicated here is 7 kilometers. That should be 7 kilometers. So we come and take our pair of compass that will help us. We stand at that point, and then 7 kilometers will be 7 centimeters. That is the 7 centimeters. Then we can mark that point. So that is 7 centimeters, as you can see. Now that is the point D. That is the point D. After doing that, we have now the positions of A, B, C, and D, and it's good to indicate that this is 7 kilometers. Now, to make sure you complete the 4, to have the range now, all the vertices, we can join A to complete this rectangle. We can complete this. Yes, I want to complete these, not that side. That is, yes, that is how you are supposed to draw or to make that scale drawing. Now as you can see, we have drawn this one to scale and the positions are given there, or the position of A, B and C, D, they are accurately given. Now let's proceed to the questions. First part, 4 marks. Use the scale drawing to determine the bearing of A from D. The bearing of A from D. The bearing of A from D. When you are required to get the bearing of A from D, you're supposed to draw your compass at D. The bearing of A from D. Draw your compass at D. So this is what you're going to do. To draw the compass, as we have done, you need to first ensure that you draw a straight line here. This is how you get your compass. So you start by drawing a straight line there. Then from there you make sure that this angle is 90. So let me have some more space here, down here. I think that is okay. So I have to indicate this one should be 90. So let me mark that point there. Point is 90. Then down here, the point that should guide me in drawing that compass, down here, this one should also be 90. I'll mark that point there. So these 2 points are supposed to guide me. This point and this point are supposed to guide me, so that I make sure I have exactly 90 degrees measured. So from there, let me take a ruler and draw, guided by those points. Guided by those points. Remember the first point was here and the other one is here, so 90 degrees should pass through there. So let me draw that compass. So that is the compass. So having, that is the north. So I'm supposed to give the bearing of A from D. The bearing of A from D. The bearing of A from D. So to get that, you need to measure the whole of this angle. You need to measure the whole of this angle. That is the angle that, so from this point going this way, that should give you, that is what is going to give us the angle. We see that we measure the true bearing from the north in a clockwise direction, and that is what is supposed to give us the answer. That is the bearing of A from D. So the angle that we need to measure here in this case is this angle that is here. There's an angle that is here. This angle, because as you can see, this is giving around 29. So as you can see, from this point going this way, that is a straight line, that will be 180, and then we're going to add this part that is here, which is giving 29 degrees. Just look at this. This is giving around 29 degrees. and that is what you're supposed to add. So this part that is here, this is 29 degrees, then the other part, which is straight line, that will be 180. So the bearing for this matter will be 180 degrees plus 29 degrees, which is going to give 209 degrees. 209 degrees. Or you can give in terms of if it was a compass bearing, you can give it as south 29 degrees west, south 29 degrees west, south 29 degrees west. That is compass bearing, south 29 degrees west. That is the difference between the two. One is true bearing, so this is a true bearing, and this is a compass bearing. The distance BD in kilometers, the distance BD in kilometers. So BD, you can draw a straight line, or you can stretch your pair of compass to get that measurement. So let me just stretch my pair of compass. So I want to stretch it up to this point. Up to D. Up to D, and I can see if I stretch it up to that point, that is giving around 9.3. So BD is 9.3, as you can see, 9.3 centimeters. So that will be 9.3. So this will be 9.3 centimeters. So when you convert these, it will be 9.3 kilometers, since the scale is 1 centimeter represent 1 kilometer. Then upon doing that, we are heading to the last part of the question, the perimeter of the ranch. The perimeter of the ranch. So the perimeter of the ranch is the distance round, the distance around the ranch. That is AD plus DC plus B. Is AD plus DC plus CB, the distance around. So the only distance that you're not having in this case is this distance that is here. This is the distance I want to measure, but I think the best thing I can use is just this pair of compass. This is the distance AD. Distance AD is what we don't have, so we can place there. And to get this distance, as you can see, that distance is around 10. Let me check whether I have that distance around 10.0 centimeters. So if it is 10.0 centimeters, AD, let me do something here. Yes, the distance AD is 10.0 centimeters. So for you to get the perimeter, you need to add the distance around. So AD plus DC, AD plus DC, so AD plus DC plus CB plus BA plus CB plus BA plus CB plus BA. So these will give you go to the distances. AD, this is what we've just obtained just right now. This distance here is 10.0 kilometer, so we can add 10.0 plus DC is 7 plus CB is 6 plus BA is 8. All these are in kilometers. So once you add these, let me add these on very fast. So this is 17 plus 14. This will give 31 kilometers, and that is simply how you require to work out that question on bearing.